and foremost, Mr. Peake, your motion in the climate emergency debate proposes this idea of a transformation team. Really interested to know what you envisage that to be.
That's right. It is actually an amendment to the motion, and it calls on Tynwald really to call on the Council of Ministers to set up an independent, dedicated climate emergency transformation team to drive change across government to achieve the Tynwald approved climate change goals. So it's really trying to give the Council Minister the opportunity to go out and seek some expert advice, to listen to that in a proper, considered manner, and then make decisions based on fact. That's really what I want to do. We had a great debate the day before in Tynwald about the health and care review, and I think that model works really well for important issues, and this really is an important issue. This is a globally important issue, not just here in the Isle of Man.
Is this implying that the island, or at least the Council of Ministers and teams within the Council of Ministers, subcommittees, etc., don't have the expertise on island to grasp this situation? Is that what you're insinuating?
I'm not trying to insinuate that, because I do respect people here. We've all got our opinion. It's really about acknowledging that if this is an emergency, why not go and get the best we can? Why not go and get some expert advice that can just give an alternative view to perhaps what's here? It's not about going out and seeking to spend lots of money and delaying things. This is about really trying to arrive at the right decision as quickly as we can. But I think the important thing to try and get the right decision for the Isle of Man. So get some expert advice, work with people here who have the knowledge as well, who can certainly contribute. There's lots of people here who can contribute, absolutely. But it really doesn't want to be inward looking. It really wants to take this big issue and really keep your mind open and really search for those for the results that really help us here.
I mean, arguably, you could say that the IPCC report provides that framework for policymakers that's there to be adopted. So what would be different with this transformation team then? Where have you sort of looked and perhaps identified an individual or a team that could apply to the Isle of Man?
Okay, you're absolutely right there about the policy, and as you know, Tynwald already agreed some great, strong policies back in 2015, and no one's really looking to sort of change those too much. People are asking for movement on dates, but it's really to achieve anywhere near those policy targets is to start the work as soon as we can. And so understanding how you measure efficiencies, knowing where to look for them, recognising it, and then putting them into place, implementing them, that's when we're going to see the changes. So we've got the policies in place. We have got a strategy in place already, which builds on those policies and actually points how you can deliver them. Now, you know, that was 3 years ago, and you know, some things have happened, but not many things have happened if we're really honest about it. And to start it all again is wasting some time, but to really now miss the opportunity to go out and get some expert advice and listen to it and consider that and make some decisions, that would be a crying shame if we really didn't do that.
But who do you have in mind? Who have you identified?
Right. I've got in mind is the Council of Ministers to decide. That's why I've asked Tynwald to call on the Council of Ministers, because it's the ministers that do hold the power. They are the departments. They are going to make this work or not. So I'm happy for those to make those decisions, but it's not that difficult to find some experts and to listen to that advice. And resisting that, I really think that's going to really divorce you from reality, to be honest. And if you just keep listening to yourself, that's not going to achieve the outcome that the Isle of Man deserves.
Are you suggesting that perhaps the Council of Ministers need someone to show them a bit of direction here? Because I think, is it fair to argue that the public perception is that this climate emergency has caught them by surprise? You know, the IPCC set out the timescales back in October last year, and this has been the reaction to that 6-7 months later. What do you believe the public perception to be of the current administration and the handling of the climate emergency?
Well, it's certainly very reactionary at the moment. The action plan and, if you like, the direction was in place and has been in place for 3 years, and we've progressed as far as we have done. There is a long way to go, And really, it's now is the time to recognise that. And I think the Chief Minister's done that by recognising that and attaching the word emergency to it, because that is a great step forward. But the great shame would be to not build on that by taking some real expert advice. And if you just surround yourself with people who are always just going to say yes or just look for inward results, that's not what it's about. It's much bigger than that. It really is time to listen to some expert advice that's actually going to work over here. And certainly the great officers we've got, the people who can actually help us with that local knowledge, absolutely will help to actually get a right decision. But we really, I think, just need to get that independence, so people can sort of feel as though this administration is willing to listen, is willing to seek advice when, we can't be experts at everything. When you haven't got that knowledge, to reach out and get some expert advice that the Isle of Man is going to benefit from on the right path, so people can really believe, that we're actually showing and helping them understand what we should be doing now, which will help us in the future.
Does this expert advice make the results of the public consultation redundant then?
No, I don't think it does. They can actually use that, can't they? Because that's a, if you like, a perfect barometer of what people are thinking at the moment. Absolutely. But the consultation, the public aren't going to have the answers. They might actually say what they would like and where they're supporting it. But you need to look to expert advice to really get that into the mix and really understand how you're going to make the savings. I've been lucky, I run my own business for 25 years, and we really did do a lot of energy efficiency work in lighting, and we worked on a number of projects here in the Isle of Man on how to actually save money. And I promise you that you need to understand your subject, you need to really understand what you're looking at so you can see where to make those savings, do those calculations, and then you're sure, you know then that the result will work. It's when you don't understand that, you don't know what you're looking at, things then start looking as though it's going to work. But I've seen so many times other people not delivering solutions. They've actually ended up costing more to run than when they started. And I promise you, it's quite easy to do that. You really need to have someone who can really help you.